Being nice won't save you. Being smart will. That's a hard truth most women learn late in life. Because from a young age, women are taught to be kind, patient, understanding, and quiet. But no one teaches them how to protect themselves. And that's why so many strong women end up drained, overworked, overgiving, and constantly wondering why life keeps taking more from them than it gives back. Here's the reality. Life doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards awareness. And if you don't know the rules, life will keep testing you until you break, or until you wake up. Smart women don't win because they're perfect. They win because they stop playing the game blindly. They stop saying yes when they mean no. They stop explaining themselves to people who never listened. They stop sacrificing their peace just to be liked. And let's be honest, being nice without boundaries doesn't make people respect you. It makes them comfortable crossing you. Being patient without standards doesn't build love. It builds resentment. Smart women understand something most people miss. You teach the world how to treat you. Every time you tolerate disrespect, every time you overextend, every time you stay silent to keep the peace. And once you realize that, everything changes. You stop chasing approval. You stop shrinking yourself in rooms you've already outgrown. You stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. This is not about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear. Clear about your limits. Clear about your time. Clear about who gets access to you and who doesn't. Because a woman with no rules becomes easy to ignore, but a woman with rules becomes impossible to play. So if you're tired of feeling overlooked, tired of being the one who always understands, tired of always giving more than you receive, then listen closely. These 7 rules are not motivational quotes. They are survival rules. And once you learn them, life stops running you, and you start running your life. Let's begin. Here's the problem nobody wants to say out loud. Most women don't lose because they lack talent, intelligence, or effort. They lose because they were trained to survive, not to win. From the start, women are taught to adjust. Adjust your tone. Adjust your needs. Adjust your expectations. And slowly, without noticing, that adjustment turns into self-betrayal. You say yes when you want to say no. You stay quiet when something feels wrong. You keep giving chances when the pattern is already clear. And then you wonder why people don't take you seriously. Why your time isn't respected. Why your effort feels invisible. Here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't respond to potential. It responds to behavior. If you tolerate chaos, life gives you more chaos. If you accept mixed signals, life sends confusing people. If you keep rescuing others, life keeps handing you broken situations. Most women stay stuck because they confuse kindness with weakness. They confuse patience with silence. They confuse loyalty with self-neglect. And the world takes advantage of that confusion every single time. Another big problem. Women are taught to overthink instead of observe. They analyze words instead of watching actions. They wait for closure instead of accepting reality. They hope people will change instead of responding to who they already are. Smart women don't do that. They don't wait for explanations. They don't need closure to move on. They don't ignore patterns just because feelings are involved. Because they understand something critical. What you allow once becomes what you teach people to repeat. And when you don't have rules, life writes them for you. Usually at your expense. So if you feel drained, if you feel overlooked, if you feel like you're always giving more than you're getting, this isn't about bad luck. It's about missing rules. And once you see that clearly, you stop blaming yourself. You stop chasing approval. And you start changing the way you move. Because the moment you set rules, life starts responding differently. And that's exactly where we're going next. There's a moment every smart woman reaches. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. But it changes everything. It's the moment she realizes this simple truth. Life doesn't change when people change. Life changes when she does. Before that moment, she waits. She waits for people to understand her. She waits for effort to be returned. She waits for situations to get better. But smart women don't wait forever. They notice patterns. They trust what they see, not what they're promised. And when something keeps costing them their peace, they stop paying the price. This is where the shift happens. A smart woman stops asking, "Why are they treating me like this?" and starts asking, "Why am I allowing this?" That question is uncomfortable, But it's powerful because it puts control back where it belongs, not in other people's hands, in hers. Smart women understand that attention is currency, time is currency, energy is currency, and they stop giving it away to people, places, and situations that don't earn it. They don't explain themselves 10 times. They don't argue with disrespect. They don't chase clarity from confusion. They move based on evidence, not emotion alone. This doesn't make them cold. It makes them focused, and here's the part most people miss. When a woman changes how she moves, the world adjusts around her. People either rise to her standards or quietly remove themselves. Either way, she wins, because she's no longer reacting to life. She's responding with intention. That shift from emotional survival to intentional living is what separates women who stay stuck from women who move forward with confidence. And once that shift happens, there's no going back. Now let's get practical. Because smart women don't just think differently, they act differently. The first thing they do is protect their time. They don't overcommit. They don't feel guilty for being unavailable. And they don't rush to respond to everything immediately. They understand this. If you're always available, you're rarely valued. The second thing smart women protect is their emotional energy. They stop carrying problems that aren't theirs. They stop trying to fix people who won't fix themselves. And they stop absorbing moods that don't belong to them. They listen, but they don't drown. Third, smart women stop over-explaining. They don't justify every decision. They don't argue their boundaries. They don't beg to be understood. They say what they mean. And they let silence do the rest, another key rule. They don't ignore discomfort. If something feels off, they pay attention. If a situation drains them, they step back. If a pattern repeats, they stop giving it chances. Because smart women know this. Your intuition notices things your emotions try to excuse. And finally, smart women choose self-respect over approval. Even when it costs them attention. Even when it disappoints others. Even when it feels uncomfortable at first. They'd rather be respected than liked. Rather be alone than drained. Rather be misunderstood than used. These aren't dramatic moves. They're quiet decisions made consistently. And over time, those decisions change everything. How people treat her, how she sees herself, and how life responds to her presence. Because when a woman protects herself wisely, life stops testing her limits and starts respecting them. Now here's the part most people avoid. Because it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. If a woman refuses to set rules, life will keep teaching her the same lesson, just in harsher ways. At first it looks small. People interrupt her, they cancel on her, they cross lines by accident. She lets it slide, because she doesn't want conflict, because she wants to be understanding, because she hopes things will improve, but they don't. Over time, the cost gets heavier. Her energy drops, her confidence fades, her patience turns into quiet resentment, and the scariest part, she starts blaming herself. She tells herself she's too sensitive. She questions her instincts. She ignores her discomfort to keep the peace. That's how women lose themselves, not all at once, but slowly, in pieces. Here's the truth. Life does not respect people who don't respect themselves. If you don't value your time, others won't. If you don't protect your boundaries, others will push them. If you don't walk away from disrespect, it will become familiar. And familiarity with disrespect is dangerous. Because once something feels normal, you stop fighting it. This is the warning. If you keep choosing comfort over clarity, kindness over boundaries, and silence over self-respect, life will keep draining you. Not because you deserve it, but because you allow it. Smart women understand this early, and that's why they don't wait until they're exhausted to change. They change before life forces them to. So here's the turning point. You don't need to become someone else to win. You don't need to harden your heart. You don't need to lose your kindness. You just need rules. Rules for your time. Rules for your energy. Rules for who gets access to you. And who doesn't. Start small. One decision at a time. Say no without explaining. Pause before responding. Step back from situations that drain you. Watch what happens when you stop overgiving. Watch what happens when you stop chasing. Watch what happens when you stop tolerating what costs you your peace. At first, it will feel uncomfortable, because growth always does. Some people will push back. Some will get quiet. Some will disappear. Let them. Anyone who only benefited from your lack of rules will struggle with your boundaries. And that's not a loss, that's clarity. Here's what winning actually looks like. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's calm. You stop reacting, you stop explaining, you stop proving yourself. You move with intention, you choose yourself without guilt. And you trust that walking away is sometimes the strongest move you can make. So if this message hits you, take it seriously. Choose one rule you'll start following today. Not tomorrow, not when things calm down, today. Because smart women don't wait for life to change. They change how they move, and life follows. And that's how you stop surviving and start winning.